Now, I'm not going to lie here. That speed stat on the right kind of irks me a bit because all these other stats are actually pretty damn decent. By the way, the attack and defense are 31s. This is an event Pokemon, so you kind of just get 3 31 IVs on each of them, regardless of how many times you reset. But that speed is a little bit lacking. But honestly, I'm going to take this for two reasons. One, it's because it finally lets me add this little bastard to the collection. And second, it took me maybe 2 soft resets to get that nature and spread. The nature, as you can see down there, is the timid nature, which is one of the natures I was going for. It was either that or modest. So I'll now probably be obligated to go for modest nature when I get my Volcanion code used for Auras. I picked up 2 of them today. And so with this now added, my collection is now complete. I have all 721 Pokemon caught, and today also happens to be the 3rd anniversary of the release of Pokemon X and Y. So this is actually, I did not plan for it to be that way. But I guess at the end of the day, I mean, I could have easily gone and picked this thing up yesterday and got it yesterday. But the fact that I picked it up today, I guess it's just supposed to happen. 3 years after I get this and commence the collection, I'm finally finished with it. And I can gloat at it for the next month until it becomes obsolete. So there you go. So to explain the collection as I start going through this, I have marked a bunch of the Pokemon here. For example, these starters, they all have the circle mark, which indicates that they were hatched from an egg. The triangle is for Pokemon that have come all the way from Gen 3. The square represents Gen 4. The star represents Gen 5. You'll find a lot of Pokemon with Pokerus as well here. So just sort of be aware of that. I imported a Riolu from White 2, which had Pokerus, and then everything else just ended up bloody catching it. So yeah, the square's Gen 4. The heart is anything that's traded in. The star is stuff that's come from Gen 5. And then the diamond is anything that's come from an event. So most of the stuff I just sort of, I tried to minimize breeding because it was obviously going to take too long, but then there were situations like getting this Vulpix, which was kind of annoying because Vulpix was a 25% male rate, a 1 in 4, and one of the challenge conditions in this collection is that if a Pokemon could be male or female, then I'd have to go for the male of it. It's kind of sexist. I mean, I remember back when I had this obsession where I'm just like, no, catch your males, don't ever catch any females unless I have to, like if they're shinies or anything like that. My cousin just kept calling me a sexist. I'm to clarify, I'm not at all a sexist, but going for one specific gender over the other when you have the choice is kind of adds a bit more to the. It's more annoying, but it is a bit more fulfilling, I suppose. The Meowth and Persian are an interesting case. This is actually one of only 2 Pokemon that not this one in particular, but the parent of these 2, I had to get in through GTS because I kept just not getting the correct Mirage spot in Alpha Sapphire, so I just decided, fuck it, I'll just go ahead and do that. And so I never actually added the one I got from the GTS to the collection because it was in a Great Ball, which would violate the other rule of this collection, and that is everything has to be caught in a Pokeball or its equivalent. If my memory serves me correctly, most of the stuff is just in a Pokeball, and I think a bunch of legendaries are in Premier Balls, and I think there's just event stuff that's in Cherish Balls, and Cherish Balls do count because they are fundamentally the same as a Pokeball. You just can't get them unless you hack in. And in case you are wondering, the music that is playing in the background of the game right now, that is actually the Pokemon Center music that plays during your birthday, during the month of your birthday. That's how long I've stayed in this Pokemon Center. I've not actually walked out since I walked in here at some point during August. So you get to listen to that as well, which is kind of nice because it's just like, yeah, it's like that sort of ending bit at the end of Golden Silver, like after the main ending thing, there's just that really soft, like, bell, I don't know, whatever the hell that's supposed to be. Which is sort of like, yeah, you've finally ended. You've finally done everything that you could possibly do in this game or whatever the hell. I pretty much have. I mean, I could just go and do more battle maze on, but I couldn't be asked doing that. So that's going to be on my team in Sun or Moon, whichever one I go with. Obviously, it's not going to be that form. Probably should have I probably should have mentioned that spoilers might have been a thing. Yeah, this came from Alpha Sapphire. That was obviously inherent from the Friend Safari. I had to go onto Reddit to get the code of a fellow whose Friend Safari had both that and Ordino in it. So lots of XP gain with lucky eggs and stuff like that. Yeah. Electabuzz and Magma, I believe I got these. I believe these are both from Friend Safari, but I don't think they're evolved forms, though. I think those are from somewhere else. Realistically, I could have easily just bred to get the Magma line, because I did import my Black 2 team into this as well, and I used the Magmortar in that game. You'll find that towards the end. Yeah, I had to hatch the Porygon. Porygon wasn't too bad because it's genderless, so it was literally just breed an egg, there you go, you're done. Although I think I actually bred 2 because I needed all 3 forms. I don't know, for some reason that looks a bit shiny, but I think the blue is a bit more vivid on the shiny. So, yeah, Articuno was traded in, Zapdos was traded in, Moltres was inherent to this game because I picked Froakie as my starter. I never actually found a shiny of this, which is really regrettable. I did put together like a 190 chain to try to find this thing and ended up getting a Basculin instead, which just made me so ridiculously salt. There's the first event, the Mew. Well, the first event that you'll see here. Lots more Pokeras, lots more stuff hatched from eggs. There's a peek at one of my team members, so yay. That got traded in from, I think, Alpha Sapphire. It might have been Omega Ruby, actually. I can't remember, but whatever. I gotta try to at least bring the images into display for at least, even if it is for a split second, because I actually have no idea how much space and how big a file that I can record is on here. I think I've got like 3.6 gigs of space, but I don't know how long. I don't know how long the video can be. That's the point. So, what's more Pokeras? I could just be really obnoxious and just try to infect every single Pokemon in this collection with Pokeras. It would involve me having to swap team members out up the wazoo to make sure none of them lose it. Although I guess in the case of something stupid like a Wobbuffet, it's not going to be that big of a deal if it loses Pokeras, because I can just go catch another one and infect it. But I'm not going to do that. I'm also going to just minorly spoil here. I did not catch all of the unknowns. I did not obtain all of the Vivillons either. I think I have a set of White Flower Flabébés, but I think that's about it in terms of additional stuff. I mean, aside from other useful, good stuff I imported, such as like the Shiny Creation Trio or something like that. So, yeah, I should probably tell us something about this Skarmory now that I mention it. When I was going through this game the first time, it was wrongly reported on Cerebi that you could find them on the route south of Anastar City, which, like the one with the cave that has Zygarde in it. And you could find it in the rare spots. And I spent like 2 hours there trying to find one, only to find that it just wasn't there. And Cerebi got it wrong, and I was a bit salty about that. So these legendary beasts are caught in Pokeballs. Reason for that is because, as you can see from the square, they have come from Gen 4. They have come from Soul Silver. And I couldn't be asked going to just buy tons and tons of Pokeballs just to get Premier Balls to throw at these things. So I might try to replace these with ones in Premier Balls, but I'm not going to really commit to that. The Lugia and Ho-Oh here are Gen 5. They're actually in the Dream Ball, as you can see, with their hidden abilities. I believe the only way to get these is through Dream Radar, and obviously this is where they came from. There's the Celebi. This is the one from March's event. I do have 2 from the bank, but I decided to go with this one because I've got most of the others in this collection already. So that came from Soul Silver as well. That is the event one that came out at the start, like when the games first came out. Only way to get a Blazikenite until Auras came out. That I'm just gonna say came from a Gen 4 game. Oh wait, well, okay, I'm just gonna know it came from a Gen 4 game. I don't know if it was Hard Gold or Soul Silver, but I don't care. Point is, it's from a Gen 4 game. It's not local to this, if anything. So I got this traded in, really? Okay. I don't understand why I have that traded in, but I guess I could breed a C-Dot egg and try to get that. And actually make it be sort of more like mine. But I guess I just kept it because I did do a small amount of trading early on to get random bits and pieces, and then I just sort of gave up on it for like a year and a half. Stupid slack off. Those things were annoying. Oh, crap. Yeah, now I remember, because that slacking that you saw that came in from the trade, this thing, was a slack off when I first got it, so I had to evolve that into a slacking, and then I had to breed it, and I kept getting a bunch of female ones, and it was as annoying as you might expect. And I do believe I've completely gone and skipped over Stantler, so I might as well explain the point of Stantler. Stantler was the other GTS import. I just got a Stantler, bred it, got the baby, and then just used that as part of the collection. So those are the only 2 times I used the GTS. Once again, not much to explain here, so I might as well explain the situation of the LP. If I had a reason for not having another LP up already, that was not either just me debating which one I want to do next or just pure laziness, then I would definitely offer it up here. But I think at this point it really is just pure laziness, also from eggs as well as traded in, because I didn't want to get rid of the originals from Omega Ruby. I mean, Alpha Sapphire. So, but yeah, I've decided on what I'm going to play now. I just kind of got to get a bit of motivation to actually do it. I will hopefully have it next week, but we'll have to see what happens. I've got these stupid appointments where I've got to go looking for jobs and shit like that, have to be a productive and responsible member of society. So, wish me luck in becoming lame. Events. Reggie. Wait, are these events? Oh yeah, these are the Pokemon Bank events. Yeah, there was just a random Pokemon Bank event that gave you the Reggie Trio. I can't remember when it was. I think it's actually still going, or it might have just ended or something like that. Lati's from Gen 5. Only one of them has Pokerus for some stupid reason. Kyogre, Groudon, and does Rayquaza come from? Yeah, where the trio all coming from Gen 4. Jirachi from the event. I believe that was April's event. Sounds about right. And this Deoxys from... I think this Deoxys actually came from Omega Ruby. I remember because I didn't know whether you could rebattle Deoxys when I fought him in Alpha Sapphire. And because I already killed him once, I just decided, since I ran out of balls and he was struggling, I just decided to throw the Master Ball. Only time is the first time I've ever used a Master Ball on a Legendary in years upon years. It was very stupid. I still kick myself in the face for that as well, so... Anyways, into Gen 4 now. And I have absolutely nothing to say about that. Don't have either of the Burmy or Wormadam forms, because I just couldn't be asked, and they're just Burmy and Wormadam, so who actively gives a shit? I actually kind of wanted the Eastern Sea forms as opposed to the Western Sea forms. Or is it the reverse? Point is, I wanted the blue ones. Because I just like the blue ones better. Because, I mean, blue over pink. That sort of thing. Triceratops over pterodactyl. Yay. Thing I quite liked about Happiness Evolutions is that it didn't take that long. I think it was like 3 battles to get them up to the level that they needed to evolve. Or at least the level that they needed to just sort of be happy and evolve. So that was nice. I'm not entirely sure if I actually did grind them up or if I just leveled them up. I think I did do a bunch of rare candying, but that was before I went on Reddit though, so yeah, bred in, traded in for that stupid thing. The split second of Hippowdon because nobody really cares about Hippowdon. I haven't used one yet though, so I probably got to get around to using it. The only thing that's putting me off of using it though is that it's got Sandstream, and I kind of don't really want a Sandstorm team if I'm going to be using Pokemon that are going to be susceptible to it. So if it has an alternate ability, I would say tell me, but I can easily research it myself, so that's fine. I mean, you can still tell me anyway, and I'll be grateful, then just, okay, cool. Now, yeah, the Pixie Trio came from Gen 5 as well as this random Porygon Z. Yeah, it's from Dream Radar. So yeah, Pixies came from Dream Radar, Dialga Palkia came from Dream Radar, the Heat Rain came from just Gen 5, Regigigas, Giratina from Gen 5 as well. That was the... yeah, that's the Dream Radar one. More Gen 5. This obviously bred from the event Manaphy for very obvious reasons. Darkrai, Shaman. Favorite Pokemon? I would have loved to have this be the last that I added to the collection. Unfortunately, it was not to be. It ended up being the second last, so... oh well, I'm still happy that I got an Arceus. That's actually a pretty good IV spread, if my memory serves me correctly. I mean, it had the 331s as inherent to all these events and stuff like that, so... that was a nice thing. Picked up a Victini from the event. I didn't actually have to because I already had one, but that one in question was caught in an Ultra Ball, and it wasn't mine. It was traded in, so I decided to get this one so that I had one that was bit more closer to being mine. I mean, I downloaded it, but whatever. Point is, it's mine. Let's just go through that last row again because I just breezed through that fucking thing faster than the speed of light. There we go. Monkeys are like the easiest fucking thing to get. I actually, now that I think about it, I did complete each of the regional dexes first. And then I had the Pokemon all lined up in their regional dex order, and then was going to just sort of work out some kind of order to sort out the rest of them. I think I was probably going to put them into alphabetical order in regards to their first type. And by that, I mean, like, if something was ground steel, I'd put it in ground, but if something was steel ground, I'd put it in steel. That didn't work out unfortunately, because I was too lazy to just sort of sort that all out. I mean, if I was able to just create some kind of algorithm that could sort the Pokemon out in that order for me, then that would be friggin' awesome, because then I could just follow that. But evidently that was not the case. So, it is what it is. I remember this Darumaka giving me assholes as well. I think I kept getting I got like 5 females before I got that male. So, it was a bit of bullshit. But Colfagrigus, bred and hatched, obviously had to level it up once it came in because it was still a level 1 Yamask. So, that was a thing. Fossils weren't that big of a deal. Like, I minimized the amount of trading, of course, by sending the fossils in their fossil form and then just reviving them when they arrived. So, obvious, you know, minimize trade tactics or whatever is obvious. Something. Croissant. Big fucking mustache. Yeah, I don't know. We're getting there. 6 generations, not the biggest generation out there. To actually be specific, it is the smallest because of the injection of all the mega evolutions and shit like that. That gives me hope that Sun and Moon's like Gen 7's decks will be a bit bigger because it's not incorporating any additional mega evolutions. I mean, it's got them confirmed, but I think it's just going to be all the old ones. Maybe if we get Sinnoh remakes in this generation, they'll drop us a few megas. Maybe Mega Flygon would be nice. So yeah, the Swordsman Trio have come from Gen 5, Tornadus, Thunderous, and the Landorus, all in their Therian forms from Dream Radar, Zekrom, Reshiram. I want to get a replacement Reshiram because, yeah, you can tell by the ball. That kind of annoys me. Kyurem, Keldeo. This is the event one that's going on. That's currently going on this month. Meloetta. This is the one from Gen 5, and the same thing with the Genesect here. I will probably replace them with the relevant events when they go live. Genesect goes live November, and Meloetta goes live in December. Anybody who tries to contradict me will be swiftly corrected, because for some stupid reason they want Meloetta at the end of the year. And this has been a thing that's been announced since the start of the friggin' year, so there you go. I don't mean to sound arrogant, Smork, but there you go. Yeah, I got the river form. I'm not entirely sure why I have the river form, but I guess because I'm living near a river or something like that. Or at least in some kind of relative proximity. I mean, I live in Brisbane, so Brisbane's got a river, so it only makes sense. So, tearing my throat apart as I get through this. I'm 21 minutes in, nearly 22, but we're nearly there. Not much to say about this. I mean, this is probably the first section of the Pokedex that I had completed. I mean, minus the events and stuff like that, because include the events, then this is the last to be completed, because I kind of got to put Volcanion in the next box after this, because this is the final box full of stuff, and then this goes up to 720. I believe that's the miniature form, and I think that might be the medium form or something like that, medium size. I'm not entirely sure. So yeah, there's my Xerneas, Yveltal from the first Y playthrough, Zygarde, Diancie, Hooper, and then last but certainly not least, we can go ahead and place our Volcanion here. While I'm at it, set the marking to indicate that it is an event Pokemon. And that is it. That is all 721 Pokemon obtained with respectable challenge conditions. I mean, if I tried to get decks that didn't import from previous generations, I mean, it would definitely have been possible, because everything that was missing in this game was found in ORAS, but I just got it either way I could. I mean, it's not like... I mean, I didn't just import a full collection from a previous generation and just sort of say, yay, I've completed the Pokedex in this game, because that's not really much of an accomplishment. And this is even more noteworthy an accomplishment because this is the first time I've done it on a normal game since Gen 1. Gen 1 doesn't really count, though, because it's Gen 1, it's only 150, and the only way I get Mew is through the glitch, so it doesn't really count. So, rest of the box here has just a whole bunch of the excess legendaries. These are the Gen 5 Regis from Black White 2. That's the Victini that I got traded. Gen 5 event Deoxys in the Dusk Ball as well, as you can see right there. A couple event Keldeos. The birds from Gen 4. These weren't going to be in it because they were all caught in Ultra Balls. There's an additional Yveltal. 3 additional Mewtwo's, 2 of them from Y playthroughs, and then there's this one from, as you can see there, from the Gen 4. Here's the only Pokemon in this entire collection that has the triangle mark signifying that it's from Gen 3. And you're about to find out why. That. You can now rest, you can now die knowing that somebody was able to hate themselves enough to buy Pokemon Channel and go through it. So give yourself a pat on the back. No, we want to continue that. There's the... Yeah, these are the 2 Bank Celebes. Lugia, Ho-Oh. I mean, I would have put these into the collection because they was from Gen 4, but the Ho-Oh is in a Pokeball, the Lugia is in a Premier Ball. And then lastly, we have these 3 Zygarde. This is the event one. I should probably, in that case, give it its marking. And then these are the Zygardes from my other 2 Y playthroughs. Box 26 is just a whole bunch of stuff I got hatched, and I'm probably going to Wonder Trade. Box 27 is full of Wonder Trade stuff. 28 is full of Wonder Trade stuff. Shinies. I have this Poliwag. I kind of want to catch 2 more to get the full Poly line in shinies. This is the first chain fishing shiny I ever found out, and this is before I found out chain fishing for shinies was a thing. I ended up also catching this thing, as I mentioned earlier, off the 190 something chain, which was a load of bullshit, but Jish the Dunsparce, I caught this on Christmas Day a couple years ago in Jish's Friend Safari, and then a few hours later I found this. The name is kind of inaccurate though, because said Brenner has since come out as transgender and is now known by the name of Martin. I might just keep it there because it's just sort of there. But whatever. Magikarp, I had to catch this thing to make up for the one that I lost as my very first shiny in Pokemon Silver. Random Love Disc, which I think was like off of a chain of 1 or 2 or something like that. That might have been a full odd shiny in all honesty. Random Corsola while I was trying to catch stuff in something or other. This thing, I swear to God, is hacked. I got this in Wonder Trade. It has Pokeross, it has a perfect IV and EV spread, and it has a White Herb Timid with that moveset. I did use it to get some battle points up as well, so just having this is kind of nice, but I do not believe this is legitimate. Also, Ban Shitruye, the French shiny Gourgeist that I got from Wonder Trade. That just makes this thing inherently better than Jish's one, just because of the stupid name. Random shiny Tyrant that some guy sort of sorted me out. I kind of like shiny Tyrant and I want to evolve it. A couple of event shiny Gengars. This one was trained up. I just used the whole muscle band or whatever the hell to do with that. Named this after my first niece because I caught it on a birthday. I was just playing through Y, and the next minute I was watching some police chase show. I looked down and they see this thing's pink. It's just like, oh, okay. 2 sets of the shiny creation trio. There's the proof, just so I'm not being obnoxious about it. Random pile of just crap here. Now that I think about it, I can actually take this because this is one of my team members, and this is what's going to end on here. Couple Vivillon events. I believe these are the Pokemon Bank event Johto starters, and there's that. Random Pumpkaboo event, Dratini from Gen 4 with the extreme speed, random Scizor from Gen 4. Yeah, these are my Flabébés. They've yet to evolve those. Random other stuff that I got from trades, like that's the Froakie you get from Shauna. I believe this is the chest bin that you get. Random Chikorita, that thing with a weird name, something or other. I think I got that for like breeding purposes or something. There's the one I got in Y, that's the event torture I got in Y. Sweet Scent User, Pokeross Generationer, something. Happy Hour Meowth, that's an event as well, which I believe means no, I do not want to release. I do that. And that thing I used to steal lucky eggs from thing. Anyways, this last box contains all of the teams that I've used in Generation 6 and 5, and 4 actually. So this is my first Y playthrough. Spinyman drew inspiration from Steinyman, the Basculin that Jish used. Just a random classmate of mine who was a Leo. Oh shit, bumped the camera. Apologies for that. Yeah, not much more to say about that one. This is not very original. It's just sort of there. Not really much to say about this name. Neither is that, actually. Names here aren't really that original. This one, though, is one of the Predacons from Beast Wars, is Pterosaur. He did have a Transmetal body, but it was never shown in the series because he was killed off once the Quantum Surge hit. And Derpinpile is excellent. because the thing was a derp. As a Gumi, it's a derp, and it's a pile, and it draws inspiration from Burton Pile, yet another name that Jish came up with. This is the second Y playthrough Gigaplant named after the Yu-Gi-Oh monster Fred Fox. If you don't know what this is referencing, then I will slap you in the face. Sydney, because it is a swan. Sydney Swans. You won't understand this if you're living outside of Australia and New Zealand, so don't worry about it. Cold Fusion, I kind of like this. It actually makes sense because it's a cold-based Pokemon, obviously being Ice type, and it's like the fusion of an ancient corpse and modern-day technology bringing it back to life or some shit. Excalibur, named after the weapon from Rise of the Triad, which you'll have seen me use to beat the final boss in my LP. And this thing, which I caught off of a chain of 201, named it Abyss Sparkle, just because shiny. Sort of thinking Mermaids at the time, that sort of thing. And then lastly, we have the... Well, not lastly, but this is the Black 2 team that was imported. This thing I've caught 3 hours after purchasing the games on release date. Specifically Black 2. There's the aforementioned Magmortar. Hidden ability Whiscash. I think it's hidden ability, but I never used Rain Dance on it, so it kind of missed out in that regard. But I liked it because of Zen Headbutt and Spark. It was nice, good type coverage, so I was pretty happy with that. This thing was awesome because Volt Absorb and Thunderwave means you have pretty much something that can't be hurt by the Reggies in Black and White too, because their only attacking move is Electric type. So you can also do the same thing with the Stunfisk. Cloudian, because, and yeah, again, more Yu-Gi-Oh references. And I decided to use an event Genesect just because I could. And then last in this box, we have our familiar faces from the Soul Silver playthrough. We have ourselves Puffstool, we have Nelly, we've got Frogbog, Kaminari, which in case you missed the fight against Red, I did evolve before the fight against Red. Concorida, Samantha, Sarah. This Skiploom, this is Fluff Nuts, but because it was apparently rude, I had to get rid of the name as a result of transferring it. Like, I transferred it and it took the name off, so it's unfortunate. Then we have Myrtle, Vicarola, Fry, it came along for the ride, and then Rot. And then last but certainly not least is the team that I used in this playthrough. And so here we have Scapegoat. I would have called it Scapegoat User if I had the room, but unfortunately I couldn't. So I had to stick with just the plain Yu-Gi-Oh reference and not naming it after a friend. So, and no, we're not talking about Dovidas. King Dragoon, probably not the best name for Charizard, but it's pretty good. You'll also notice the stark level difference is because I used King Dragoon a lot to get rid of... Like, I sent it over to Alpha Sapphire to sort of knock the Elite Four over in that game because the team on that was a bit So I sort of sent a couple from this team and a couple from each of my white teams and just sort of beasted. Flibbit, would love to have protein on this thing, but it was still pretty good nonetheless. Yeah, Chomposaurus, can't beat the Chomposaurus. This thing was a beast. Hyperion, I really, really loved this. It may seem a bit freaking pansy of me to use this thing, but this thing is freaking awesome. It's a very good special wall. I actually used this as well in some of my Battle Maison stuff because it's got Hidden Power Bug, so it's got a decent amount of type coverage on it, so I was pretty happy with that. And then Solazar, a combination of Salazar and Solar. I'm not even sure if I was actually thinking Salazar as just a plain name or if I was thinking of Salazar Slytherin, but we can just work either way. I just like the grass knot to take care of some obnoxious stuff like the ground types. So that, I believe, is well and truly that. I believe the only things that are left for me to do, if I may find out... Pokedex... I think I've already gotten the National Dex Diploma completion. I don't entirely know, but I'm about to go and find out. If it is, it'll be in my room, and I've got to go there anyway because For some reason, I immediately thought that the professor's lab was in the hometown like it was for just about every other friggin' game, but except it's not. So, if you will give me a moment of patience, I will quickly rush over to find out if I have the diploma. And if I don't, then I'm hoping that this will actually, tell me where the hell these things are. Oh God, really? It's not? Ugh. The Coumarine Hotel in Coumarine... Oh, well, that's not too bad. That's not too difficult then. Okay. I have to go to Coumarine City if I don't have this stupid thing. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, fuck it. We're going to get it anyway. Apologies. I should not have been this ghetto about it or just unprofessional in general, but you're going to watch me get this stupid thing. Coumarine City. Now I got to work out which part of Coumarine City. Coumarine Hotel, which is on which part? Hotel, the second floor. Okay, where the hell is the hotel then? Okay, I'm just going to blindly assume that it's on the bottom. Yeah, got to take the train. No, I don't want to go in the house, god damn it. Look on the bright side, at least I know precisely where Sycamore is. So, it's all good. And yes, I never actually went and got the shiny charm because I didn't feel like I deserved it until I got all 721 in the Pokedex. So, deal with it. Go. I don't know how much time I've got left. I really do hope to God that this bloody works out. This is the hotel, right? This looks mightily like a hotel. Mightily. I don't know what the hell that's about. Come on. This is a hotel, right? Because I don't see no Game Freak. Okay, well, it's definitely the hotel. I just didn't see the Game Freak peoples. People are screaming at me, and I can only apologize for that. Because I could have friggin... Wait, what? Oh, wait. Game director. This guy. Oh, I never actually got any of them. God damn it. Knocking over the freaking camera. Well, there you go. There's the Central Carlos diploma. And then here we have the Coastal Carlos diploma. They're just... Yeah. Not much of an achievement, realistically. Because they're just regional stuff. And there's the Mountain Carlos diploma. And so, as a result, I have the full Carlos Pokedex. That is an awesome looking diploma. And then, send to my house. And then guess what? I have all of them. If I was live streaming this, I would be demanding PogChamps in the chat for days. The achievement has been made. This is the first time I've ever gotten one of these legitimately. So it is definitely a day to remember. Until this entire collection becomes obsolete in about a month's time. So, all that's left to do is to go and get the shiny charm, and then I can finally bring an end to this video, which is approaching 40 minutes in length. So I guess to wrap it up before I actually collect this damn thing, I have my next LP sorted. Don't know when it's going to... I don't quite know when it's going to be, but you can expect it soon. I think that's about it in terms of general updates. I mean, I could mention something about Yu-Gi-Oh, but I don't have much interest in it at the moment. So, obviously, you're not going to see much in the way of Yu-Gi-Oh. So, yay. Time to collect... if I go to National Pokedex, I guess. There we go. Shiny Charm has been obtained, so I can now spend the rest of this game's time hunting shinies. Just as a knock is present on the door. I will go and answer that because I'm about done with this video. So see you for my next LP or whatever else it is that I do next.